This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Today we're going to talk about why fixing art is worse than drawing it in your style and why fixing art is probably the most offensive problem in the art community. Hey, how's it going and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about fixing art and why everyone hates it, even people who hate fan art and artists drawing popular characters in their art style. So first off, what is fixing art exactly? If you're new to the art community, Twitter, or just art drama in general, fixing art is probably going to sound like any usual form of criticizing an image and making corrections to mistakes an artist has made in their work, which for the most part seems like a good initiative. But in this case, fixing art is just another way toxic people try to project their false opinions on any artist they dislike by taking the artist's work without their opinion or consent and claim to fix it by changing the image to suit their own preconceived notions of what quote-unquote an appropriate drawing should look like. Most times these art fixers attack artists on Twitter and go after any of their drawings that they don't like or find offensive to them, or any drawing that isn't representative enough of minority groups that sometimes these art fixers are clearly not even a part of. But they still decide to hate on the drawing for reasons specifically based around the skin tone of the character or person in the drawing, or their weight, or just how the character looks in general. Most of the times these art fixers do not have anything in particular to criticize in the image and are mostly fixing the art out of spite and do not improve the drawing or make the drawing look better in any way, which makes me wonder where the fixing part of the term fixing art went to. Drawing art in your style, however, is a rather new trend that started on Instagram and Twitter and other social media platforms, which mostly involves an artist taking an image from another artist and drawing the exact character in the image in their own art style, hence the name of the trend, draw it in your style. It started getting popular as a trend for artists who reach a new milestone in their career or hit a certain number of followers on any of their social media platforms to then make a draw it in your style so their fans and other people who like their art can participate and make fun drawings irrespective of how good their art looked, how well they knew how to draw, or how many followers they had on their social media platforms. Unlike fixing art, drawing another person's character in your style as a form of fan art or just showing appreciation for the artist is a much less toxic way of fixing another artist's drawing because you don't like it or something looks wrong in the drawing, and will definitely not get you called out or cancelled in the art community like people who fix art. While some people say they don't like some art styles and they don't like seeing their favorite characters drawn by some artists, the artist still has every right to draw any image they like because the drawing is solely made by them without the influence of another artist, so they cannot be called out for taking another artist's work without their permission and fixing it. But there still is a caveat to drawing in your style that could make it problematic and toxic in the art community. Since Z fixes art, who remarkably became probably the most popular art fixer in the art community, was using their own drawings to fix art and was not in any particular way stealing art from other artists and forcing their own ideologies surrounding fat phobia on other artists' work, and was instead quote-unquote fixing already existing characters in their own art style. But before we begin to talk about the key differences between fixing art and drawing it in your art style, let's have a brief word from the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for building and hosting your own website, which takes away the stress of outsourcing your web design to John Doe, who will charge you 5 figures but will deliver a website that looks like it was made with Windows 98 to you. Squarespace lets you create a portfolio of any kind using any of their templates, which are all fully functional and customizable, giving you access to both the front-end design and a little bit of back-end development if you're plugged into the matrix and know a little bit of code. Squarespace is giving a free trial for you to try out building a portfolio for yourself, so head over to squarespace.com/Mohammed Agbadi to start a free trial and use code Mohammed Agbadi to save 10% off your first purchase. Links will be in the description of this video, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring the video. Fixing art and drawing it in your style are far from the same thing, even though they share the same final results, which is reproducing another person's drawing. People who fix art on the internet, for the most part, always fix their attention on the character's skin tone and change it to either be darker if they are trying to stand in for people of color, because it will make them look better on Twitter without actually having anything substantial to add to the drawing or any aspect worth criticizing in the image. We have seen art fixers take fan art of Knuckles that was made by a Japanese artist and fix it because, according to them, Knuckles must be black because the artist is whitewashing the character and the artist must stick to the source material if they have to make any more of their garbage fan art. These kind of people always seem to have so much hate and disgust in their posts every time they reply artists, and you can feel the amount of entitlement in their tweets because they feel they are doing the artist a favor every time they fix art. They basically don't care about how the artist feels after they see their work stolen and edited to look nothing like what it was before, and to have another person superimpose their internalized hate and underlying racism in a drawing while pretending to fix it. Fixing art is extremely pretentious, ignorant and disrespectful, especially to the artist whose work you're taking and trying to fix. But drawing it in your style is quite the opposite of that. Drawing in your style can be a respectful way to pay tribute to an artist or someone who inspires you without being insulting or forcefully making a claim that you made their drawing better. Since multiple artists have different techniques they use to draw, and some people might find one technique more attractive than another, it is not uncommon to see some people preferring one drawing over another, even if it happens to be a draw it in your style or fan art of another artist's original character. Everyone who is drawing the OC in their own way have the right to draw the character in their own unique style and make certain things they feel could be improved on or drawn better without making it seem insulting or forced to the artist. But when the person who is drawing the character in their art style begins to claim they are fixing the character or making them better by changing their skin tone or weight to the point where the character is unrecognizable by the audience, then it has become a forfeit and is no longer fan art or a tribute, and is just an insult in form of a drawing, disrespecting the artist's choice of designing his OC while the art fixer claims theirs is better. Some art fixers even use their posts to call out artists who clearly have a stylized look in their drawing, saying the artist should try being more realistic with their drawing, trying to force them to draw certain parts of the body a certain way even when they clearly don't want to do that. Whereas if the art fixer were making that same drawing in their style, they could literally just draw the features of the body any way they please, as long as they did not make the drawing problematic, change the skin tone or race of the character, or try to troll the artist because of how they draw or how they design their characters. One of the main reasons fixing art is hated in the art community is because fixing art and making a character dark-skinned in a drawing is not a true form of promoting diversity and representation the way the art fixers claim they're doing, and everyone can tell it is pretentious and the art fixers are just trying to do it for clout and because they want to look good online by trying to fight for inclusivity, disregarding any form of context on why an image was drawn the way it was, and most of the time not considering things like color palette or the tone of the drawing, and solely focusing on whatever the art fixer thinks is wrong with the image. Artists hate art fixers because they literally steal art, paint over it without the artist's permission, and then re-upload it as if it was their own drawing. Not only is this blatant art theft, but it also shows these art fixers lack common courtesy of respecting an artist's drawing and not trying to steal it because they want to feel superior to the artist or get a few hits of dopamine from Twitter. If you think an artist made a mistake in their drawing, or certain parts of the image look wrong or disproportionate to the rest of the body, or the character's skin tone doesn't look like how it's supposed to be, a better way to do it instead of stealing their art and fixing it is to be polite and tell them there are a few things wrong with the image in the comments, or better still, send them a DM with all the things you feel could be improved on in the drawing. These artists are people just like you, and as much as that is surprising, they have emotions as well and can read the tone of your message and can tell if you're being insulting, passive aggressive, or just being nice and trying to help. Every artist appreciates good feedback every now and then, and good constructive criticism is the only way for an artist to grow. So don't be afraid to talk to your favorite artists or correct them if something looks wrong or could be better in their work. Another reason people hate fixing art is because some of the people who claim to fix these drawings literally take an already existing character and turn them into their own headcanons of what they think the character should look like while claiming it was fixed instead of just calling it fan art and moving along with their normal activities. Like, my guy, making a character chubby and dark skinned is not helping representation the way you think it is. So like, why even bother? Just make your fan art, and even if people don't like it, then it's fine. At least you won't get called out or insulted for stealing art or fixing art. Personally, I hate fixing art because I have noticed that nowadays every time an artist grows to a substantial amount of followers on their social media platforms, they begin to get scrutinized by some people who don't like their art style and can't stand seeing the artist get all the love and recognition they deserve. So whenever the artist makes a small mistake or is in the spotlight for a minor controversy, these people emerge out of the woodwork, stealing the artist's drawings and fixing them, saying it would have looked better if it was drawn this way, or trying to make other people hate the artist's drawing style by intentionally saying the drawing is bad or certain things are always wrong in the artist's work, or the artist isn't really good at drawing, their art style is boring and repetitive. This just shows that this person has a lot of pent-up hate for the artist and was just waiting for the right time for them to come out and attack the artist when the artist is getting hate online. And you can clearly tell when they do this, because while other people try to diffuse the situation and clear any misunderstanding happening, all they do is fuel the fire, edging the crowd on and trying to instigate other people to join in attacking the artist. In all honesty, drawing in your style, making fan art and paying tribute to another artist or your favorite characters is a much better way to impact the art community in a better way and gives you a better chance of reaching a bigger audience with your art if you're trying to grow as an artist or make a career for yourself out of social media. And because your drawing is a tribute to the artist, you don't have to have the best drawings or have the greatest understanding of anatomy or even be the best painter or colorist or whatever. Just be yourself, have fun, and make the best version of the OC that you can. Every artist that makes a drawing in your style is very appreciative of everyone who participates in it, and it's always a great way to join a community of artists dedicated to helping each other improve and grow as artists. I really hope people stop this trend of fixing art and understand how wrong and inappropriate it is and finally decide to spend their time doing other things that will improve their work. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Please leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, share it with a friend so everyone can know to stop fixing art, and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. I'll see all of you pretty penguins in the next video. Peace.